Today on CityCast Philly, what comes to your mind when you think of Pennsylvania? Over the years, we have adopted all sorts of plants, animals, and foods to represent our Commonwealth. Some make sense, but others take a little imagination. Today, I'm putting the CityCast Philly team to the test, and you should play along. All that, plus our host Trinae Nuri will give an update on her great summer cheesesteak quest. Sponsored by Tecovas, purveyors of Western wear. It's Tuesday, July 9th. I'm Asha Prihar, and here's what Philly's talking about. I'm here with CityCast Philly host Trinae Nuri. Hi, Trinae.
Hey, Asha. Look at you on the mic doing the intro. Great job.
Thank you. It's so intimidating. You do it so well, you know. Lots to measure up to. And I'm also here with producer Abby Fritz. Hi, Abby.
Hey, Asha. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. So I'm super excited about this episode. So today I'm testing you on the symbols of the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I want to say, first of all, thank you to Cast Pittsburgh and especially their producer, Sophia Lo, for researching and putting together most of these questions about animals, plants, and more. I've added a couple of my own to add a little bit of a Philly flavor. Okay. But really, so much credit to Sophia. So, before we get started in true game show fashion, I would love to do a little intro. Feel free to share any of your Pennsylvania qualifications, intimidate your competition. Okay, so.
I think Trinae definitely has me here. I did not grow up in Pennsylvania. I'm from California. Any of this knowledge I will have learned in the past couple of years. So no intimidation here.
Well, my intimidation factor is that I went to elementary school in a Philadelphia public school. Then I had some really amazing social studies teachers from Garriford Elementary in Delaware County and Drexel Hill Middle School. So shout out to my social studies teachers because they definitely told me about these symbols growing up. My job now is to just go all the way back because it's been some time. And we're talking like early 2000s. So the late 90s, early 2000s. So
nice.
Hopefully things didn't change. Because if it did, I'm screwed.
This is going to be a test of memory then more than anything else. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
Okay, I love this. So before we jump into the questions, let's go over the rules. So the way this is going to work is I will ask a question, and if you know the answer, raise your hand. You'll get 2 points if you can get the state symbol without any help from me. But if no one raises their hand, I will give you guys 4 options, and if you can guess correctly out of the 4 options which one's correct, you'll get 1 point. Any questions about that?
No, so we basically get bonus points if we don't need help.
Exactly.
Okay. Right.
And there'll also be a couple little bonus point opportunities
extra credit
sprinkled in here, just teasing that out, but you'll see. Okay. So, first question. What is our state bird?
Oh, I don't know this one.
I feel like I know it, but I'm so afraid to get this wrong because I don't want to get the first one completely wrong. I'm going to just wait for those hints.
Yeah, let's hear the multiple choice.
Okay. Let's roll into the multiple choice then. A, red-winged blackbird.
Okay.
B, eastern bluebird. C, ruffed grouse. D, bald eagle.
It's not the bald eagle.
I was going to go for something reminded me of red. But then it threw me off because you said red-winged blackbird. That confuses me.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like sometimes I got to go with my instinct. So I'm going to go with A.
Okay. This is purely a guess. I'll guess the grouse. Just because I feel like a lot of PA is rural, and grouse sounds like something that might be in a rural area.
Well, Abby's got this one.
Man.
It's the ruffed grouse.
Sweet.
Do you guys know what a ruffed grouse is?
No idea.
No, because that's what I'm like, what the heck is a grouse?
That's a super fair question. So it's been the state bird since 1931. This was set a very long time ago. And apparently it was a food source. It's actually called the quote unquote king of game birds.
King of game birds.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like people hunt it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Grouse.
Which, kind of begs the question, like, what does it taste like? Do you guys have any guesses? I assume if you haven't heard of it, you haven't tried it before.
I don't think I have.
Well, I don't know. Does it taste like chicken?
Yeah, so people actually say that it tastes like tangier or sweeter or funkier chicken.
Funkier.
Ew.
Funkier chicken.
Funky chicken.
That's our state bird. Funky chicken.
Funky chicken.
Nice.
Yeah, so I have no idea what that means. So like if anyone out there, listeners, if you've ever gotten your hands on ruffed grouse, let us know. Our friend Sophia over in Pittsburgh actually found a really cool recipe for it that has cranberries, wild rice, and mushrooms.
Okay.
And the recipe developer says that, quote, eating it evokes the forest, end quote.
Listen, I'm a city girl, so nah, I'm good.
So, maybe that's your next like Thanksgiving dish or something. We can put a link to that recipe in our show notes.
Wow,
sweet.
Okay, are you guys ready for question number 2?
Yeah.
All right. What is Pennsylvania's state dog?
Dog?
This I know, and I don't need a hint. The Great Dane.
Oh, wow. Really?
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
Woo,
How did you know that, Trinae?
Okay. This is one of those things that I definitely remember in class learning. And then I was so like moved by like how big this dog is. And I remember being terrified. As a kid, like this dog looks like a monster. So that's something that it always stuck with me in my childhood.
Wow.
Childhood traumas coming.
This is a trauma response, actually.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I thought this was kind of random, but apparently Great Danes, going back to like sort of like the hunting roots of things, like they're actually useful dogs for hunting, but it did become the state dog in 1965. And I actually read a funny story on the like Pennsylvania tourism website about how this happened. Apparently, the state house, they held a voice vote on like whether to make the Great Dane the state dog. And the representatives who were in favor of it actually were like barking and like growling to like vote yes.
Oh my God.
And then like it was a majority. So the speaker said, "ARFs have it." So if you're ever looking for evidence that Pennsylvania is a really strange place, here you go. Apparently people call this the barking dog vote.
Wow.
So there's some fun PA trivia for you.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to pivot away from fluffy animals now. So do you guys know what our state amphibian is? Just a reminder, raise your hand if you know the answer.
Maybe. But I feel like, oh my God, I can't remember the name of it.
Do you guys want the choices?
Yeah, can I have the choices?
I want the choice because I feel like I might know, but I'm not sure.
Okay, so A, Eastern hellbender, B, American bullfrog, C, common mud puppy, D, spotted salamander.
It's A, I'm pretty sure. I think that was the name of the thing I was thinking of.
Abby, you're really good at these games, and I honestly was going to go for turtle, but I'm completely wrong. So I'm going to say the hellbender.
Well, you guys are right. It is the Eastern hellbender. So the Eastern hellbender is an amphibian that's super sensitive to pollution. So if you actually see one of these in a river, it means that the water quality is great.
Oh. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, and it was made our state symbol to promote awareness of the need to like preserve its habitat and make sure like Pennsylvania waterways are clean.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Cool.
that's the Eastern hellbender.
Awesome. Got to look for them in the rivers.
Okay. So does anybody know the state bug?
No. I'm gonna. I have to defer. We gotta go straight to the options.
We need help.
All right. A, eastern cicada killer. B, firefly. C, carpenter bee. D, spotted lanternfly.
Definitely not D.
Definitely not D.
I'm gonna go with C because I love bees. They're pretty cool.
I'm gonna go with firefly.
Trinae's got this one.
Hey.
Yeah,
I don't even know why.
This state symbol is actually thanks to elementary school students over in Upper Derby.
Oh.
That's my neck of the woods.
Yeah, so they learned about state bugs. They realized we didn't have one, and they actually campaigned really hard for this. And they reached out to lawmakers. They made bumper stickers. And they picked the firefly because there's actually a firefly species that's named after Pennsylvania.
Oh, cute.
Who knew? It's called, okay, I'm totally going to butcher this pronunciation, but it's called Photurus pennsylvanica or Pennsylvanisa. I don't know how exactly to say that, but something close to Pennsylvania.
Yeah, right.
So they were officially recognized as the state insect in 1974. I'm actually curious, though. What do you guys call these bugs? Because I grew up calling them lightning bugs, actually.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was either fireflies, lightning bugs, and all I know is that you're supposed to get a jar, poke the holes at the top, collect them, and then you have like an instant flashlight.
Nice. Yeah, no, there's no fireflies on the West Coast, or at least not in California. So I did not grow up with them, but I've always heard them referred to as fireflies.
So, next animal question.
Yeah.
And this is actually our last animal question. And it's a big one. What is our state animal? No specific category here, just
overall.
any animal.
Animal. Oh.
Raise your hand if you know.
No.
The groundhog, Gus, and Phil, Gus, and Phyllis, and the kids.
Oh my God, yes. That's so funny. No, I have no guess. That's a great guess, though.
As much as I love that guess, that's not the answer. I can give you guys the choices.
Okay.
A was actually groundhog, so
Nice.
I guess
we know that.
I guess
one.
this is going to be a 3-choice thing.
Mhm.
B is white-tailed deer. C is eastern cottontail, which is just your average rabbit. D is coyote.
I'm going to say the deer. There's a lot of deer signs on the roads
Yeah.
to watch out for. I don't know. Go for the deer.
Yeah, that's a good guess. I'll guess the bunny because I don't see a lot of coyotes around here.
No, we're not a coyote state.
Trinae is right with this one. It is the
Nice.
white-tailed deer.
Nice.
And apparently, we're actually not special in this regard because
Oh.
11 other states have this exact same state animal.
Why did we choose this one?
Why didn't we choose Gus and Phil and Phyllis? Like,
That's fire.
literally.
That is an excellent question.
And for those that don't know, Gus is the groundhog that, the groundhog mascot that they use for the lottery, the state lottery. And
The second
Phil
most
and
famous
Phyllis
groundhog.
are the...
The fact that we have 2 famous groundhogs in Pennsylvania, I feel like is a great argument for why it should actually be the state animal.
I agree.
I'm going to start the
but-
campaign.
Yeah, seriously. Should we do this? Should we take it?
Because I want to make history, y'all. Like, CityCast Philly and Hey Philly started a revolution.
The groundhog revolution.
The groundhog revolution.
What noises? What sound does a groundhog make? What noises are they going to make when they vote on it at the Capitol? Yeah. Vote for yes.
For no, I don't know.
You guys are too much. All right, more trivia after the break.
Want to know one of my favorite sounds? Here it is. That's the sound I hear when I'm learning Spanish with Babbel. And if you want to learn a new language this year, I guarantee it'll be one of your favorite sounds too. I'm David Plotz. I'm the CEO of CityCast, and I've been doing Babbel for a few weeks, and it's been so much fun. This week, I've been learning lots of food vocabulary and how to order in a restaurant. This is one of the things I love about Babbel, is that it's about learning the language so that you can use it. As Babbel says, it's designed by real people for real conversation. So it's all based on real life situations. And these restaurant lessons are awesome. When I went to Mexico City last year with my girlfriend, I was mute. I was a mute. But next time, I'm going to be ordering the sopes and las salsas picantes. Babbel has over 16 million subscriptions sold, plus all of Babbel's 14 award-winning language courses are backed by their 20-day money-back guarantee. Here's a special limited-time deal for CityCast listeners. Right now, get up to 60% off your Babbel subscription, but only for CityCast listeners at babbel.com/CityCast. Get up to 60% off at babbel.com/CityCast. Spelled BABBEL.com/CityCast. Rules and restrictions may apply.
All right, guys, let's jump into a little bit of miscellany. What is our state flower?
Oh, I know this one. I do. I was just researching like native flowers and plants, and I stumbled upon it. I think it's the laurel.
Can you be a little more specific?
No, I think I just know it's a laurel. Does that count? Gonna get half credit.
You know way more than me. I mean, I can't say cactus. I know that. Let's see. I don't even know.
I think we can give you half credit.
You can give me half credit?
One
Okay,
point.
cool,
One
cool.
point. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
just like a more specific like genius of the plant, right? Is what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's the mountain laurel.
Okay.
That is the state flower of Pennsylvania.
Mount Laurel, New Jersey.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, and they're super pretty. They're like a nice like white,
Yeah.
light pink, and like the name suggests, you can find them in the mountains, you can find them in the hillsides, and they bloom around like May and June. So right now is like kind of right around the time that you might be able to catch some bloomed mountain laurels out in the wild. So if you guys ever are in a mountain and you see one, take a photo.
Yes. We'll definitely do that.
All right. Next question. Which theater has been designated the State Theater of Pennsylvania?
Can we get a hint as to like what side of the state it's on?
You can guess now, or I can give you the multiple choice. And I have like on the multiple choice, I say like where each of them are.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll take the multiple choice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
multiple choice. Yeah.
Okay, so your choices. A, the Wilma Theater in Philly. B, the Walnut Street Theater in Philly. C, the Fulton Theater in Lancaster. Or D, Heinz Hall in Pittsburgh.
I'm gonna go with Walnut because it's really old, right?
I was gonna go with Fulton in Lancaster.
Abby's got this one.
Nice.
It is the Walnut Street Theater, which is on Walnut Street in Philly, as the name suggests. It was actually founded in 1808, so it claims the title of the oldest operating theater in the country.
Wow.
It kind of
That is
depends
old.
on, like, I guess, what measure of, like, oldest theater you use. Anyway, it's old. It's really old, which I didn't know until I was researching this. But the state legislature designated it as a state symbol back in 1999 because of how historic it is. So we're gonna roll into our last section. We're gonna do like a little section on food and beverages.
Oh.
So we'll start with the beverage part. Do any of you have guesses for what our state drink is?
Oh my gosh. No. I didn't even realize we had like state drinks and food.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Okay, so I can move to multiple choice if you guys don't have any.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. A, lemonade. B, milk. C, Yingling lager. D, stateside vodka.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll go with the Yingling. I feel like that's a big deal in PA, right?
Yes, but I feel like vodka is it's so out there. But I was gonna say something like a cider, but I'm completely wrong.
Now that I'm thinking, we do have a lot of creameries in
We
PA.
do.
We
We
were
do.
when we talked with Madame Fromage, she was talking about that. So maybe milk isn't as far out there as I initially thought. But
Right, but like, do you
milk?
know a lot of people that just straight up drink milk?
no, I don't.
Right. And I'm like, yeah, like we eat cheese and
Yeah.
you know, but straight up drink milk is...
That's wild. Honestly, I feel like
I'm so confused.
PA would do something like that, so I'm changing my answer to milk. I'm going with milk now.
This is hard. This is really hard. Milk is wild. I'm going to say milk.
Okay, I feel like you guys landed at the right spot. It's milk. It's milk.
Oh my gosh.
We got there.
Milk? Who designated milk?
Well, it was designated in 1982, so someone in the state
ago.
legislature in 1982, I guess. Yeah, and this is actually the state beverage for a lot of other states. Not every state has a state beverage, but a lot of the ones that do, it's milk. I mean, it's kind of dairy country, and like Pennsylvania's got a lot of cows. I'm gonna ask you guys a bonus question. It is purely vibes based. I have said this before. You guys probably know this by now since it's like kind of part of my personality, but I can't drink milk. I'm lactose intolerant. So you guys can each propose a new state drink for Pennsylvania, and if I like it, I'll give you bonus points.
This was like a goofy response, but I'm going to say, what do they call it? A citywide?
Nice.
Citywide special.
Citywide
special.
There you go. If I'm remembering correctly, I believe there's a lot of mountain mint in PA. And so maybe like a mint tea made from mountain mint could be cool.
That's so well thought out. And I love Trinae's response because points for just the simplicity. Also, like I love the idea of making a Philly thing like all of Pennsylvania's thing. So you can both have bonus points. I guess that effectively means that neither of you get bonus points, but it's
we'll take it.
since this is a two-way competition, but it's fine. Love the thought. Okay. So we're gonna move along to fruits. We actually don't have a state fruit in Pennsylvania, but there has been a proposal for one, and a bill made it to the state legislature in 2013. So does anybody know what legislators were trying to make the state fruit back then?
This is hard. I'm definitely not going to go with a citrus fruit because I just don't think our climate can properly nurture those fruits. So definitely like more of like a berry. So I'm going to go with possibly like a blackberry.
I'll go with like an apple. Just keep it
Apple
simple.
seems like it's probably right.
Abby's got this one. It is indeed the apple that they were trying to make the state fruit. It didn't go through, but
any type of apple specifically, or just
the apple.
Just apple.
It's kind of interesting that this was the proposal because it's actually not like a fruit that grows natively in Pennsylvania. So there are actually a couple fruits that grow natively, which include pawpaws, red mulberries, and persimmons, which I don't think I've tried any of those actually.
Persimmons are great.
Yeah, but according to PennLive, the reasoning for the apple proposal was that every county in Pennsylvania grows apples. Fun fact. And also the world's largest apple processor is in Adams County. So there was an attempt, but no state fruit in the year 2024. While we're talking about sort of hypotheticals and things that didn't go through, there was actually a bill that was passed in the State House earlier this year to designate a state candy that hasn't gone through the full legislature yet. Do you guys know which candy?
You have multiple choice for this one?
I do. A, Hershey's Kisses. B, Peeps. C, Goldenberg's Peanut Chews. D, Wilbur Buds.
I feel like Hershey, right? I feel like that makes sense for PA, just because of the factory.
Peeps did that collab with Pepsi. Remember that?
Yeah, and you tried it, right?
I just can't. I can't do Peeps. Peanut Chews has, roots based in our state. And so does Wilbur Buds.
I've never had those.
But Hershey Park, Hershey Kisses, that's so PA. I'm going to keep it simple and go with Hershey.
So you both say Hershey?
Think so.
You're both right.
Yay.
Yeah, so as you guys know, Hershey is a Pennsylvania-based company, and they're also a big employer in central Pennsylvania. So, that was part of why this got introduced as a possible state candy. But the bill ended up being like a tad controversial. When they debated this in the state house, one representative was arguing that it wasn't fair to pick a favorite candy in Pennsylvania since there is a lot of candy production. So actually all of the choices that I gave you are Pennsylvania-made candies.
Right.
Yeah, so one representative was saying that. Another representative was arguing that designating a state candy was a waste of time for the state legislature. But yeah, it's still, the bill did end up passing in the House by a decent margin. But it still has yet to be considered by the state Senate. It's an interesting debate, and I'm curious to see if like the state Senate will take up this bill or if they're just going to kind of let it be. Guess they're a little busy working on the budget right now.
We should focus on that, yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. But yeah, okay, let's move on to our last question. We're actually going to pivot away from statewide symbols, and we're instead going to look at something that's pretty hyper-local. Going into this last question, I just want to give a scoring update. Shout out to our producer, Lizzie, for keeping track for us. Right now, Abby has 9 points and Trinae has 8.
Oh my God.
So that's where it stands.
So close.
That's where we are.
Okay.
All right. So the question. I actually just learned recently that former Mayor Ed Rendell designated something as the official sandwich of Philadelphia in 1992. Which sandwich?
Cheesesteak.
Yeah, I mean,
Asha's got like this really great poker face. I can't tell if I'm right or not. And it's freaking me out.
Okay, so you're going with cheesesteak, so I'll guess something else. Can I just say like hoagie? Like, I don't know if that's too vague.
Why did I think of that?
I mean,
no.
I feel like cheesesteak is right, honestly, but I just gotta say something different than you.
Why didn't I think of hoagie? Like, literally, like, I don't even understand. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Asha, which is it? Or did neither of us get it right?
It's the hoagie. It's the hoagie. Which
Wow.
I found to be pretty surprising.
Yeah.
I also thought it would be the cheesesteak since that's like so associated with Philadelphia.
Yeah.
But apparently, this is actually like kind of a funny story, I thought. Wawa sort of launched this initiative back in 1991 to secure this title for the hoagie. And I read in an old Inquirer article that they were actually like circulating a petition in their Philly area stores to like make this happen. So I guess it worked. And
That's a great marketing plan.
yeah, so I guess it worked because Mayor Ed Rendell made this declaration and designated Wawa Hoagie Day as a holiday in 1992. So that's the origin story for Hoagie Day, when they like give out the free hoagies in Old City, like near Independence Hall.
Interesting.
Yeah, I really had no idea. But yeah, so speaking of sandwiches, cheesesteaks, Trinae, you're
I've
kicking
been eating
off
a lot of
this.
them.
Yes. So you're kicking off this quest that's focused on cheesesteaks. So do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah. So we're a part of the CityCast universe. And I just want to shout out CityCast Salt Lake City host, Ali Vallarta, who did this really cool challenge where she went to all of the bars in Salt Lake City. So I'm like, what would be the Philly version of that? And I decided, why not eat a bunch of cheesesteaks? So on yesterday's show, I spoke with our designated cheesesteak experts, Dave Wes of Feeding Time TV, who is also our food contributor. And I spoke with Carolyn Wyman, who wrote a book about the Philly cheesesteak. And I asked them, okay, I'm going on this quest. What should I do? So they told me like what a classic Philly cheesesteak should have. It should be American cheese, fried onions, obviously your bread, and your meat.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been going to various cheesesteak spots all over the city, and I order the same thing every time. A cheesesteak with American cheese and fried onions. So personally, I would love to add ketchup and hot peppers and sweet peppers, but I can't, not for this experiment. And I'll be grading different spots based on their bread, meat, and cheese. And also, I'll be observing the vibe of the shop, the ease of order, and any X factors. So, like if a place is cash only, or if you have to know if there's like a completely separate window if you want to order fries or a drink with your cheesesteak. So, like I said, I've been eating a lot of cheesesteaks. And, so far, I feel like even though I'm a Philadelphian, and there's this like stereotype, like we talked about, like everyone would say that maybe the city sandwich is a cheesesteak, even though it's not. But, there's actually like a whole rhythm and way to order these sandwiches. And so that's what I'm learning too, that some shops have different styles. So no place is the same. And there's been some places where I was like generally confused. I'm like, okay, where do I go? How do I do this? And so I'm learning a lot. But I'm also meeting so many different people. I'm standing in line with locals and tourists, and it's just been such a great experience. I had a moment when I left Jim's on South Street, and remember, Jim's recently reopened because they had a fire at their location. But I was still chewing the last little bit of my cheesesteak. I'm wiping my mouth. I'm headed back to my car, and a guy walking down South Street asked, he said, "Is it as good as it always has been?" And I'm like, yes. And it was such a beautiful moment that we shared. And that's why I love Philly. And it was just a reminder to keep doing this cheesesteak quest. So if you see me in line, I'll be rocking my Tecovas boots, eating cheesesteak. So let me know what your favorite spot is, and maybe we can stand in line together, order some cheesesteaks, and we'll keep you updated throughout the summer.
That's awesome. I'm super excited to see like how this goes and hear about all the different like experiences that you're gonna have. But before we go today, let's crown our winner. Congrats, Abby.
Thank you. Don't know how
11
it happened.
points. An upset, really.
Truly. Thanks, Asha. This was great.
Thanks, Asha.
Thanks again to the Pitt team. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, shout out Cast Pittsburgh. Woo!
Yes, thank you so much. That was Trinae Nuri, CityCast Philly host, and Abby Fritz, CityCast Philly producer. Thank you guys so much for joining me.
Thanks, Asha.
Thank you, Asha.
All right, so for anyone who played along with us, we'd love to hear your scores. You can send us an email at philly@citycast.fm. Let us know how you did, and let us know if you beat us. That's all for today here on CityCast Philly. If you enjoyed this episode about Pennsylvania symbols and the Great Cheesesteak Quest, tell a friend, rate the show, leave us a review, and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to sign up for our morning newsletter, Hey Philly, written by yours truly, to learn more about what else Philly's talking about. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Bye! And hit that subscribe button, please. I said that weird.
Yeah, it's fun.
I feel like it's so weird to read this part. I hear it in your voice.